Good afternoon, Clothed by Faith. This is Mimi. How can I help you?
Clothed by Faith is a Houston area ministry that provides clothing to those in need across the greater Houston area.
On the left-hand side of the room here is our children's girls' clothing. On the right-hand side of the room is boys size 4.
We take your clothing donations and we turn around and we give a week's worth of clothing to children and adults in need through other agencies, schools, and community events. The donations we receive from the community can be any type of clothing. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna sort through that clothing and we're gonna keep the clothes that are in really good condition, clothes that we would wear. Our goal is not just to give someone a bag with a bunch of clothes in it, but we want to give them clothes in great condition so that it gives them dignity and hope. We want to make sure that what we give them is something that we would wear or that we would send our kids to school in also. I'm Melissa Stephenson, and this is Clothed by Faith. People in our community come and donate to our branches in Katy and Deer Park. In fact, today there's just been a continuous stream of clothes coming in the back door here at our Katy branch. We also partner with other businesses, churches, and schools to host clothing drives. Clothed by Faith was started because our founder, Abby Forey, wanted to be able to do something to impact the community right here in Katy, and she decided to do a clothing drive for Casa de Esperanza. It grew from her garage to a warehouse space, and then in 2016, we were able to move into the space that we're in now in Katy. So we've got about 3,000 square feet of space. In 2017, we added a second branch. In 2022, we actually gave clothing to a little over 17,000 people. And in 2023, that number increased to 24,000. So as food gets more expensive and rent gets more expensive, clothing becomes a necessity that's harder to pay for. And so we're able to continue to make sure that kids have clothing for school, those that are homeless trying to get back into the workplace, women who are in domestic violence situations that have had to leave their home, people that are coming out of prison, that they're able to have clothing without that added expense. So right now, we're not set up for someone to just walk up to the door and get clothing. This is babies through adults. It's a whole family that's waiting to be picked up. And this is for Hope Impact, which is a ministry that's right down the street. The majority of our requests come through other agencies that request from us or our school partnerships. All 4 boys need school uniforms, correct? We partnered with 115 agencies and 22 different school districts this past year. We want to make sure that what is going on the floor that's hung up in these spaces right here is in good condition. They make sure that they don't have any holes, that they're not faded or stretched out or shrunk up. And also that they're in style, that it's not something from 30 years ago that we're trying to give someone.
We have our shoe cleaning station over here.
We have an incredible team of volunteers.
Over here on the left is going to be size 4 through size 10.
They also are the ones that go through and shop for each individual client and choose the clothing for them. And they're the reason that we were able to serve over 24,000 people last year. A week's worth of clothing. Typically that's about 5 bottoms, 7 to 10 tops. If it's a lady or a girl, a couple of dresses, a jacket, and I've got shorts, and I've got jeans and dress pants. And so what I'm gonna do is match up the pants and the shirts and make sure I have things that go together as a complete outfit.
I started volunteering here in 2016. I really enjoy it. The people here are passionate about what they do. They're passionate about serving the community. There's a big need for clothing like we provide. I was volunteering for Clothed by Faith when Harvey hit. We had a massive need. People got out with the things on their backs, and I saw neighbors, and that was very hard to see. But I was happy to see that they got good quality clothing and that we were able to meet their need immediately, and they could go on and tend to the bigger things in their lives.
We don't get to see the recipients of the clothing that often, but we hear so many stories from our agency and school partners, whether it's a family that's had a fire and lost everything, a student, they don't have the right clothes, or maybe they're out of dress code because their family can't afford it, a single mom that is just trying to provide for her family. She's got a new job and she's able to go into that job confident, and we've been able to give them a week's worth of clothing and get them started. The thankfulness that we hear from our partners is just truly what is so rewarding about Clothed by Faith.